Hello, and welcome back to the Gers TV, where Rangers lost in Porto tonight by 3-1. Jay, how's things, mate?
Oh, good, mate. Yeah, like, is what it is, mate, innit? Is what it is. It was always going to be a tough game. I thought we competed really well, to be fair. We just let ourselves down. Three bad goals to concede.
Yeah, I mean, everybody will have different opinions on the game, and I don't mind different views, but I was on a wee bit of social media, and I thought some of the comments is incredible, to be fair. 20 minutes in the game killed us. A poor 20 minutes where they scored 3 goals and 3 crazy goals. 2 of them, sometimes things happen in football that you can do nothing about. But in general, I don't think Rangers played really that bad, to be fair. That was a team that had to win tonight, and it was a team with better quality than us. And the fact that we chopped and changed with the formation and our players, clearly with an eye on the games at the weekend. I don't think Rangers were anywhere near as bad as some of the comments have been sent tonight from Rangers supporters or some of the stuff I've read. However, 3 bad goals to lose. But let's start off with a goal, mate. It was a great start for Rangers.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's a lovely ball by Finlay Curtis, and that's what he can do. You know, he can provide that quality in the final third, and it was a good header as well from Gassama. I was scared though when the ball, when the goal got scored, that it was going to get chalked off for handball. But apparently, it's within the rules of the game. You know, it was a natural position for the hand, and it wasn't directly leading to the goal, as in Curtis didn't handle it and then go on to score because he crossed it and someone else headed it in. I think that's all good. So,
I mean, it did hit his hand, but it was definitely he was in a natural position. He's turning, his back's to the ball at that point. He's in a turn and the ball hits him. But maybe if you're a Porto fan, you're wanting a foul for it. But I think with the loss of the game, it was the right decision. It was a great ball, great move for Curtis, and a great ball and a great finish as well from Gassama.
Yeah, and you know, Curtis was positive from the off. You know, he did some nice turns in the middle of the pitch and wanted to go forward at every opportunity, and it was well deserved, the assist from him, and it was a well taken goal from Gassama. It's just a shame that we didn't really push on from there. You know, it was we had a good probably about 5 to 10 minutes after that, but then Porto took over and we started to really defend our box, and it became a bit of a struggle after that. And as soon as we conceded that goal, it was just a couple of mistakes after that, and it was tie over really.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we scored against the run of play. They were playing quite good football when we scored. I was surprised at the goal. And as you said, for about 5, maybe 10 minutes, Rangers were playing really well. They'd numbed the atmosphere. You could hear the Rangers support only. And they were playing good football, but we didn't get that second goal. The 3 goals that we lost are probably freak goals. And at that point, I thought after the third one especially, I thought it could be quite a few more goals.
Yeah.
But in terms of the goals themselves, a few comments about Tavernier. We already know Tavernier's not got the legs for it anymore. We know that. But the manager decided to play him. The first goal, maybe I would say the first goal Tavernier should have been faster, but he's just not got the pace for it. And that young boy that they've got, the 19-year-old boy that came off at the end there, is it Mayo, his name is? What a fantastic player. He has a great talent. The second goal and the third goal, they're mistakes. Do you know what I mean? The Tavernier colliding with the goalkeeper. Sometimes these things happen in football. And the third one, Fernandez' own goal. Some of the great defenders scored goals like that because he's trying to get first to the ball and he's trying to clear it. It's easily done. It's just one of the things. I think 20 minutes of the game killed us, but it wasn't anywhere near as bad a performance as I'm reading on social media, mate.
No, I mean I've not really seen anything, to be fair, but yeah, like you say, it was just that period of the game, you know, that first goal, you know, it's unfortunate Magoma ends up, you know, kicking it into the path of the Porto player, and he has an easy sort of tap in. Second goal, I just like it's one of those where, you know, watching it back, it looks like Butland is worrying too much about obviously Tav being there, and he doesn't.
And Tav's worrying about Butland. Yeah,
and they sort of collide, and it's just an absolute shambles. But then as soon as that goal goes in, it's going
yeah.
to be a mountain
And
to
it was
climb. But
inevitable.
then conceding the third goal the way that we did, it can happen though. Fernandes is trying to be aggressive and get and head the ball away and win the header, but yeah, it happens. And now it's all about Sunday. To be honest, I'm glad that
And
we
plenty of players got a run out. That was one thing. And another, I thought actually, big Fernandez, what a tackle he made. I
oh,
want
I
to,
know.
and
But I was listening to
one of the
the
best.
commentator, and they were like, "Oh, this could be getting checked by VAR because of follow through on his trailing leg." And I'm like, absolutely fucking no chance. I mean, that is the perfect tackle. Like that is
That's
exactly
one of the best tackles I've ever seen in football. Genuinely,
like if that was given as a penalty, that would have just been a disgrace. I would have turned the TV off and said I'm done with football because that is an absolute beauty. Um, and so well timed and perfect connection with the ball. But and Fernandez has that in his locker. It was a great tackle and it came at an important time. I think was it 1-1 at the time. I think we just
I'm
conceded the
pretty sure
first,
it was 1-1. Aye.
and they could have scored that one 2 minutes later. But the thing is, once we did get down to 3-1, I was fearing the worst. I was thinking this could be a Bruges all over
Aye.
again
I
for
was wanting a
tonight.
whistle to go.
I was
I
like,
thought,
do not concede anymore. But
I thought we might have conceded another one before half time. I was wanting a whistle to go. But the second
yeah.
half, different game, and Rangers looked a wee bit. They were more aggressive. They changed their formation to 4-4-2, changed a few players, changed the style. We never really looked like scoring much in the game in the second half, but we still took the game to them and tried to get that second goal. But ultimately, we were just outclassed by a team on the night who were much better.
Yeah, exactly, and that is it. I think my worry moving forward, I mean, this is looking to next season now, is how do we get this team to be competitive again in the Europa League the way we have been over the
Yeah,
last few years?
well,
Because
there's a quick answer for that. There's 3 players that we've just signed, and none of them can play tonight.
yeah, well,
I would
exactly
imagine
that.
they're Danny Rose players, so that would be his argument for that, mate.
Yeah, and exactly that, and next summer we'll be buying more players, etc. That hopefully will be good enough because
And a
some
striker.
of the players that we've had this season playing in European competitions, you can see the clear quality difference, and you can see that this is maybe a step too high for them.
They had a few great players, really good players in their team tonight, and they had a lot of great pace on them as well. That young lad, I keep forgetting his name, Moya, I think his name was, he came off. He'll go right to the top with Portuguese football.
Yeah, and look what they're doing domestically, the amount of games they've won and points that
They've
they've
only
won.
lost one. They've only lost once at home
Yeah,
for
so
was it 9 months or something like that.
So that's the sort of level of opposition we're up against, and it just wasn't our day. On another day, we don't make those mistakes. We go up and score another goal, and
The other thing as well, they never gave up. They never stopped trying. It just wasn't our night. It doesn't help the fact that we don't really have strikers that score. That doesn't help.
no,
But
and there was a couple of moments in there when Miofsky got the ball in the box. You kind of want him to just make half a yard and get a shot away, but he seems to lack a bit of confidence in that area at the minute. I'm not sure why, because he obviously scored a hat trick in the cup the other week. So he clearly still has an eye for goal, but I think maybe against these better teams, he overplays a little bit when it comes to being actually inside the box. I want to see him get a shot away quicker. But
the big thing
you
for
know,
me was there was about 4 or 5 big mistakes in the game that Rangers caused, but we caused our own downfall. To be fair, it was our own fault. They were silly mistakes, but it's mistakes that you hope don't happen again. But the big thing is, if Rangers come back at the weekend and beat Hibs, no one will really remember the game that much tonight. They'll remember the fact that we got beat, but it's just one of the things that we wanted to come out it unscathed. The big thing for me is, I know a lot of fans are having a go at Tavernier and everything else. We need to stick by the players here. We need to stick by the manager. We've got a title to fight for, and we've got a great chance of winning it. So we don't really want a backlash on it. At the end of the day, we know Tavernier's end of his career. Everybody knows that. But he's still coming in and
34.
filling a place.
He's 34. Coming up against the quality of play that we came up against tonight. He's always going to look half a yard off
It wasn't a skill issue for tonight for Tavernier. It was a pace issue. He wasn't fast enough.
Legs, and
I'm an old cunt.
it is what it is.
I'm heading for 51, mate. So I know what it's like when you start getting old. You put the guy on it. You played him the night against electric strikers and midfielders, and he's no strong. He's not fast enough to keep up. But it's no through lack of trying. It's just unfortunate that was the scenario we're in. But John Souttar came on in the second half, and I thought that tightened the defence a wee bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can see why he's potentially our best defender, because he does have that experience and that quality level to play in European competitions. But with Suter, it's always about his injury record. He's always injured, so you can never really rely on him. But
For me, I'm hoping that just to the end of the season, maybe it's still stretching it a bit, that we can have Suter, Fernandes, and Cornelius playing, because I think Cornelius has been in the gym training, and Big Sterling as well. So we've got some good defenders to come back in. Tonight we were I just think the better team won, but the 20 minutes killed us in the game, mate. They 20 minutes were the.
But the defense is not really I don't really have many concerns about the defense, because domestically we've kept 5 clean sheets already this in that run of 8 wins. So I'm not really too concerned about that. For me, it's just going forward, domestically, which obviously tonight, again, you see we get into good areas of the pitch, and it's like, well, where is that final pass? It's like we're trying to overplay at times. There's no killer ball. When the striker gets the ball in the 18-yard box, there's no quick finish. It's all too slow and laboured, and I think that's definitely where we need to improve. And hopefully with Scovolson getting more game time, and if we can get another striker in, another forward player in before the end of the window, that will start to improve.
We've got 3 players coming in that Danny Rowe appears to have bought, so that's his type of players, and it'll take them a couple of weeks to get used to Scottish football. We know that. However, I think he definitely needs a striker, and I keep saying a poacher, a goal scorer. If he can get that, then in terms of Scottish football, we won't be far off it. If we're being blunt, that team just now playing in the Champions League are nowhere near the quality. So we've probably taken a right good doing. So I don't want to worry about Europe. That's us out of Europe. We knew that before the game started. This is about coming out unscathed, giving players a run tonight, giving them some experience. We never took the worst of doings. Somebody's saying again, Davy Gemmell, my mate. They're a good side, but it's just good sides can make you look, can make you make mistakes as well. We just have to go on with it, dust ourselves down, get back to Glasgow, and focus on the title. We don't have to worry about Europe now.
That's it. I mean, our winning run has come to an end now. We've won 8 games in a row. It's come to an end, but now the challenge for Danny Rowell and the team will be, can we make it 9? Can we now go on and make it 9 wins in a row? Because if we were to beat this record or that we've achieved this season of 8 wins, we were to go and make it 9 wins, we'll be top of the league. We'll be at Hampden in a semi-final of the Scottish Cup, and we'll be top of the league if we win the next 9 games.
The other thing we should make clear as well is Porto's far better than anybody else in Scottish football now. That's that's a lot harder opposition that we've got. No making excuses for the mistakes. At the end of the day, they've made the mistakes. It's hard to watch, and it does make you frustrated and angry. But they've happened.
But I wasn't disappointed in the overall performance, though. The mistakes, and they can happen.
I thought we were actually going to get. I thought we were going to nick a goal at the end. To be fair, I thought we'd have maybe made it 3-2. But Porto deserved to win the game. They cruised it. They cruised the match.
Yeah, and thankfully they didn't really come out in the second half, because I was fearing a little bit. I was thinking 4 and 5. For fuck's sake, you know what I mean? Like that could have a lasting impact, but. I think the lads will be happy enough with their performance, and I think just getting away without any sort of injuries or anything like that we need to worry about.
But the one thing I'll say as well is on the Tavernier subject, because people are going to talk about it. Tavernier should have been finished at the start of the season. We shouldn't even be relying on Tavernier to come into the team. But the reason he's coming in is because of injuries and poor performances over the last 6 months. So he's still coming in. Tavernier should have been playing about 4 or 5 games maximum this season and coming on as a sub now and again for games.
Someone like Dujon Sterling who could actually stay fit. I mean, if you put Dujon Sterling in that game, I think we'll be a lot more solid defensively, So some of those goals may not have happened.
I will say that any defender that we had on the night would struggle with the pace with the boys up, with that young boy. But at the same time, Tavernier's time's up. We already know that. But the problem with him is he's Mr. Reliable in terms of turning up every week, and we've got players like, as you said, Sterling and then Cornelius being injured, so we're short. It's frustrating. It's frustrating watching it.
It is, but
Striker isolated again. Yeah.
yeah, but we always knew that was going to be the case in this game. It was going to be Shemiti try and hold the ball up and bring players into play. Um, but like I'm not disheartened at all. We weren't going to qualify. It would have been great. Obviously, when we won 1-0 up, I had a bit of hope. I was thinking, oh, if we can just hold out until half time and potentially nick another one, we can actually potentially make it 9 wins in a row, and then that would be unreal. But it
When we
wasn't to
went
be.
one, when we went 1-0 up, I'm thinking to myself, are we going to maybe get another goal here? Because if we went 2-0 up, we could have really just parked the bus or whatever and made it really hard for Porto. But to be fair to them, they responded quite quickly against us, and then they scored 2 goals in 5 minutes. I think
It was
um,
It was their
that
only.
was a sickener.
The goal that they got was their first real chance, I believe. Where obviously
No,
they turned in the middle
so
of the pitch and
so just
Rasmussen.
before that, after we scored, they went up the park and missed a
Oh
sitter.
yeah, they
If
had
you
that
remember,
cross in there, and the guy I think went through his legs. Yeah,
aye.
but I think it was it their first shot on target, or Butland hadn't made a save before the goal. But regardless,
It's
again,
the emotions of the game as well, mate. As you know, right? It's the game's just finished, so you're still trying to process it. If it was a game that we really had to get the points or anything like that, you'd probably be more angry. But it just when they scored and made it one each, I had a feeling there was going to be a lot of goals in it, and we were going to get a real doing. And I'm thankful we never got that. But it's silly mistakes, but you just need to hope that we can learn from them. And we've heard that a million times, but we can't keep making mistakes like that.
but we haven't
And
been seeing these mistakes domestically,
for months, aye.
So that's why I'm not too. If we go to Easter Road and they're making mistakes like that again, that's when I'll start to be pissed off with it. But at the minute, I'm like,
That's what
if
I'm
you're gonna
saying.
make mistakes,
Mentally, we have
you'd
to.
rather make mistakes tonight than on Sunday.
Aye,
So
mentally we need to overcome it. It's no easy because I'm forever saying we need to win every game, but we've lost the game. We can't go back in time. We need to overcome it, and we need to get the clean sheets back for Scottish football. And I just think we've done well in the transfer market. Everything's going well, and I'm repeating myself time and time again. But I'm going to keep doing it until we get a striker. We need somebody who can basically put the ball in the net. And I don't see that with any of the strikers that we've got now. Miovski, I thought would have been the answer, but he probably isn't.
no, I don't think Danny Roll really fancies him. I think he'll be off in the summer. But we are in the market, and we will definitely sign a striker before
I think we
Monday.
will now. I think we will now.
We will. For me, it'll either be that whose name I've forgotten now. That Naziri. Is it Naziri? I can't remember.
Naderi. I'm sure it's Naderi.
Naderi.
I'm sure we'll find out.
It'll either be that boy from Hansa Rostock, or it'll be Joel Perot from Leeds.
I would be getting him in before. I'd be getting him in before Easter Road, if I'm being fair. I think we need to get a striker in, because if we get a striker in and we don't get anybody else in, then I would say that's been a very successful transfer market.
Mm-hmm. I think we could get Joel Perot in before Easter Road, but I don't think we could get the boy from Hansa because of them playing hardball, because they want to find another striker before they release this one. I think there's also the fee that they haven't agreed on as well. So if we get him in, I think it'll be like a last minute thing. But if we turn our attention to Joel, I mean that'll be a quick deal. I think we can.
Yeah,
we're allowed to have more loan
Sunday,
deals as well,
Sunday would be last minute anyway, because the transfer window shuts out Monday. I think it's 7 o'clock.
But, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we did deadline day deals on Monday. So, because it's not just a striker that we're looking at; we're also looking at another midfielder. So whether we bring one in, who knows? I actually thought that Dan Neil would have been a good signing, but he's obviously gone to Ipswich. But so it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see who we do get. Hopefully there'll be a couple of ins and some outs as well, because we've got a list of players that we need to get rid of, the likes of Joe Rothwell, Ravi Matondo. I'd like to see leave, and get some players out on loan. Finley Curtis, though, I mean, again, he comes on today, gets the assist. Ant-Man comes on as well, towards the end.
Ant-Man played all right, but what I'll say is I think it's criminal if you put Finlay Curtis out on loan now. I think the boy's been outstanding since the loan move to Kilmarnock was suggested, and I think it would be detrimental to his career. The way he's playing, his ability and his attitude is top class just now. He's shown he wants to be in that Rangers team. I wouldn't be putting him at loan. I'd be actually starting him at the weekend. I think he he was probably our best player in the first half of the game until that 20-minute spell, and in the second half he played well as before he came off.
Hmm.
And I also thought
Yeah,
Diamonde played well.
because how do you how do you give him enough game time? Because we've obviously brought in Scott Olsen. He's going to be our starting right winger. How do we give him enough game
Well,
time?
you've got the Scottish Cup coming up, so that's one game right away.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he could play against Queen's Park easily.
And then you've got the next round. I don't know, but I just think it's just my opinion, and everybody will maybe disagree with it. Sending him out to Kilmarnock just now might make him a better player, but I don't think he needs that. I think he needs to try and get games with Rangers because he's got a great crosser, crossing the ball, and he's not afraid to shoot. It's a really good attitude for a
He's got
young
a lot
boy,
of
to be fair.
confidence for a young lad, you know, for an 18-year-old. He's got a lot of confidence, and yeah, I wouldn't be against it, but at the same time, I want the club to do what's going to be best for his development. If they
Yeah.
can give him more game time at another Scottish Premiership club, knowing that he's going to get the game time, you know, and I think Killy was the one that I wanted him to go to just purely because Neil McCann's a manager.
But it seems to have stumbled a wee bit, or it's not moved a lot, so
I
I'm not
know,
sure.
but I think it's down to us more than Killy. It's down to, well, actually, do we need him? Because Ant-Man's not been stepping up. Maybe Ant-Man's not, like we said before. Maybe Ant-Man's not doing it in training, and that's why we're probably looking at Finley Curtis. But then, what do you do with Ant-Man? Do you still have him around the squad, or do you get him out on loan? I
It's
don't
going
know.
to be a big task
We'll
getting all these
exciting few days.
getting rid of all these players is going to be a big task. I don't think that the manager's looking to get rid of too many of them. I think he's focused on having a big squad to the end of the season, giving them a chance, and taking the risk of having maybe too many players. But if we can get a striker in, and we can keep the clean sheets in Scottish football, I still think we're on the right course. We got beat with a better team tonight. Ryan's put a comment up there. Case closed, lads. Let's focus on the league now. That's it. We were beat with a better team. They were more hungry, but they had to win tonight. And there was loads of goals, by the way. All right, we get beat 3-1, but see when you were watching the match, loads of goals. All the games in the first 10 minutes, there was about 4 or 5 goals in different games. It's a competitive tournament.
Yeah, it is. But you know, yeah, all I want to do now is focus on the league, you know, and that is it. We go to Easter Road on Sunday. If we get the win, we're putting so much pressure on them, you know, and that's what it's all about now. And we know that they're going to have to play more games now. And the second leg, they finished in the bottom half of the teams going into the playoff round.
Yeah, there's a good chance you can draw Notts Forest.
Well, yeah, well, I think it's is it going to be Ferencvaros or Stuttgart? One of them two, I think it might be.
I'm not sure. I got a text message saying they could be draws Notts Forest, but the point of the matter is, we knew we were out before it, and if Rangers get a win at Easter Road at the weekend, as much as we're disappointed now, we'll be back to being positive and focused on the league, because that is the bread and butter this season. Europe was fucked it. With Russell Martin, it was never going to get any. We're never going to get a comeback.
A team like that 1-0. It was just, you know, at home as well. That is an absolute banker of a game, you know, and we screwed it up. So, you know, and I was thinking whilst watching the game, if only we had the 4 games in reverse. Like if we played the likes of Porto and Roma and stuff.
Yeah, but it's gone, mate.
Before we'd had more of a chance.
The point is, it's gone, and we focus on every game that's coming up. We've got a lot of hard games coming up, and I've said it already. If we get a striker, and we come out of February with victories, that'll dictate who wins the league. If Rangers can come out unscathed in February, I think we'll do it. So we need to dust ourselves down. There's no point in the players falling out with each other and everything else. They've got to stay focused. We've got a lot of good players at the club as well. Remember that it was just one of these off night. It was an off 20 minutes, and Porto is the sort of team that can punish you, and they did do that. And I think they probably did sit back a wee bit in the second half as well. Thankfully,
yeah, I think they were happy just to keep it at that. They probably didn't want to go all guns blazing, go all out attack, because obviously leave themselves open for the counter. But I was happy that they sat in. But for me, the important thing is the league, and I'm looking at the game, the Old Firm game, at the end of the month when they have to play away in Europe in that playoff game in that second leg. That could be a turning point if we can keep winning, moving up, leading up to that game, and we're still ahead of them in the league. Then we can hopefully get the 3 points at home, and they're going to be playing with tired legs, etc. And you saw what it was like when they played Hearts. You know, lucky to get a point out of that game. Hearts had more possession, the better the chances, etc. And maybe having that week off is going to do us good. So yeah, I don't, we'll sleep on it tonight. Don't care about this game anymore, and full focus will be on Sunday.
You want to get some comments up,
Be a
mate?
big game.
I struggle to see them because I've moved the couch back here. So if you want to check some of the comments for us, well, sure there.
Yeah, comment from Georgia saying gave away 2 silly goals, but overall not too bad. That's sort of how we
That's a bit,
feel.
aye.
Yeah, we got a Bayern Munich fan in the comments as well. I don't even want to be able to try and pronounce that name. Stabsfeld Brown. They only lost 1 game all season. You tried your best, and sort of go home without being embarrassed. Yeah,
I mean, that's a good assessment.
It is just we that was what we dreaded sort of beforehand. We didn't know initially, what team are we going to play, how are they going to line up, and is it going to be embarrassing because the players aren't going to be in it because we can't qualify? But I think we gave a good account of ourselves.
No, fair play. I agree with that.
We've got a Hearts fan in the comments as well. Was unlucky, kind of sad you're out. To be fair, he said
we were out anyway, mate. Shanklin, we were out before the game anyway, so it's not any new news. To be fair,
preferring us both to be in it. So,
he's been in for the league. Sorry, I get that now. If I was a Hearts fan, I would be thinking that it certainly helped Hearts a wee bit having less games to play. But we're out now anyway. We know that.
Yeah. And a comment from Ryan saying they will play on Sundays, win on Saturday, put pressure on them, and that might change the.
That's a big, that's a big thing. Yeah, that because it basically gives us a day early to put the pressure on every week. Yeah, so but that's a really good point.
Go and put the pressure on, so it's making sure we focus on ourselves and do our own job.
We need to be careful we don't put ourselves into a negative mindset that we shouldn't be in. Whatever happened tonight's happened, but in terms of Scottish football, we've been the dominant team. And Danny Rowe's done a wonderful job. He's got 3 new players, hopefully 4 coming in. So we'll be stronger. We'll be stronger than that. And we've got Suter coming back, Sterling coming back, Cornelius coming back. That's almost a full team.
Yeah, we are looking good for the running, aren't we? Like in terms of players that we're getting back, players that we signed, players that we're still potentially going to sign. We look strong.
And that's why the club was right. The club was right what they were saying about the fans backing, the backing the team. We really need it. The players really need this backing.
Yeah, and but the board are backing the team, and Danny Rowe, and if the players and fans can come together like we have been doing over the last few games, we can really create something magical this season. And we sort of we deserve it. We've been through a lot, and I feel like the good times are coming back. So
and I think you remember Europe's been a nightmare this season. I'm just glad we can see the back of it now.
Yeah, well, because we had to wait a long time to play these 2 games, it was almost like these were just a hindrance. It was just we have to get through them, and now we have got through them. Now we can just leave them behind us, and on we go.
As a wise man once says, thank fuck.
Yeah, like. And the players probably feel like that way as well. They're probably thinking, "Fucking, got to go to Porto to play this game," and
and could get an injury and things like that.
And
I don't think anybody was. Gassama had a wee bit of lump when he went off, maybe, but in general, I think, but we came out unscathed, and that's a big thing for us.
Yeah, that's it. And onwards and upwards, mate. I'm looking forward to Sunday. I'm going to be nervous all day again, because that's just the way it's going to be now for the remainder of the season. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to again seeing the new players in action. Hopefully Romans as well, because he's back in training now. I think he'll either make the squad on Sunday or he'll probably be starting the game against Queen's Park.
And that tightens up the defence a bit.
Sorry?
Was that the defender you were talking about there, the left back?
Yeah, Romans,
my earphones went, so I didn't hear you right. So that tightens the defence up a bit. Cornelius tightens the defence up. Suter tightens it up. Fernandes is playing fantastic. Sterling. There's a lot to be positive about. Listen, I get pissed off for the football as much as everybody else, but there's no point in a social media pile-on and slaughtering the players tonight. We need to rise above that and get on with it.
Yeah, I mean, what did we all expect? We weren't going to go in and win 3-0, were we? It was always going to be a close game, or potentially not. In some cases we could have potentially got an even worse result, but I thought the boys did as well as could be expected. Really, we could iron out some of those mistakes, but at the same time, it wasn't just one-way traffic, and we were under the caution getting battered. It was we gave a good account of ourselves. Now let's move on. No injuries, hopefully, and on to Sunday, mate. That's the only game I want to focus on now. It's onwards and upwards. Get the
Our
3 points.
our players are all coming back fit. Our team's getting stronger. It's all
Yeah,
about Scotland, Scottish football now. We've got one thing to focus on, winning a league. We've got no, as you said, we don't have Porto to worry about having to go to Portugal for a game of football. That's meaningless. All we've got now to focus on is getting everybody fit, getting the run in, and going for it. And I think
yeah.
we're in a good position, if I'm being
And
honest.
I trust Danny Roll as well to make sure that the players are fully like understand that and they're in that mindset of this is now the end of a chapter. We've got potentially 19 games, I think it is, if we include obviously the Scottish Cup games. Is it
Yeah.
19 games? Something like that. You know,
If they win all the games, to get to the final, which we
yeah, to
hope
get
we
to the
do.
final, yeah, it'll be 19 games. That is it now. 19 games. Let's push on. Let's go and try. If we win, if we just had an 8 game winning streak. If we can make it a 9 game winning streak, we will be at Hampden. We'll be top of the league. Let's focus on that. How can we beat the 8 game winning streak?
Yeah, I agree with that, mate. So, all in all, disappointing night, but we'll have to fight another day, mate.
Yeah. And before we wrap up, Roddy Fraser says that we should hold on to Curtis. Yeah, and I
I
think that's
think
going to
so.
be. I think the club are going to have countless conversations about this over the next few days. What to do with Finley Curtis. But a comment from Ryan: we sign a goal scorer and we win the league. Simple as
I
that.
agree with that. And we're looking for two to now, so we're going to surely get one of them.
Yeah, we will. We get it's 100% fact that we are going to go and sign a goal scorer. Well, I say goal scorer. We're going to sign a striker. Let's hope we sign a striker that can score goals
Aye.
because
I think the
that's
big
a
German guy. I think the big German boy's the man to get, and it gives us an additional option with the height as well and the set pieces. So I think he's who they want, and I think they'll get him by the weekend.
Yeah, I think we might have to wait a bit longer, but you're right. I think we will end up getting him, and it could be one of those master strokes from Danny Rowe going into a league that he knows, a country that he knows, and finding an absolute gem. So fingers crossed that's the case, and he
Well, we've never
scores
heard
plenty of goals.
again,
And
man. There's players in the past that have kept Scottish football ripped up. We've never heard the again, man, before.
I know
Morelos,
exactly.
I'd never heard of Morelos. Or we could go to England and buy and spend a fortune on players. The 3 million that we're offering for Hansa Rostock, that's a lot of money for a German third division team. It's a lot of money for them. So we're trying to get the right players at a good price, and we have to trust the process with the manager. Things are better than what they were 8, 9 weeks ago. We need to remember that and focus on Saturday, Sunday, and then focus on Wednesday and keep it going.
Yeah, yeah, and that's it. Yeah, it's just keep it going. Focus on the positives in the season. What we still have to fight for, and hopefully we can bring in some players that
That
will
that
help
that was the
those.
best team that we're going to play in the next 6 months. We played them.
Yeah, yeah, and that's it, mate. And yeah, onwards and upwards now. Let's go Sunday. And what I want to see from Sunday is a Scov Olsen goal because it's one of those where the longer it takes for a player like Scov Olsen to score goals, the more people in the media will be talking about it. So let's get him a goal on Sunday and 3 points. But
Yeah, get a
also
result.
a thing to know, and I know we'll cover this before the game as well when we do our preview to the game on Sunday. That obviously they're going to be missing their potentially missing their star man because he potentially might be off to Hellas Verona for 6 million euros. So how is that going to affect their team?
We should be
So
beating them anyway, to be fair, mate. We should be beating them.
yeah, we should
They're not
definitely.
doing too great, and Rangers are in really good form in Scottish football. Not the best of form tonight, but that's it. We
But
move
they're
on, mate.
obviously on the back of some poor results as well, aren't they? They obviously got
That's
knocked
what I'm
out of the
saying.
cup
They're
by
they're playing
Dunfermline
pre-
and
they're playing pretty shit, but we just go to Easter Road and go for the victory.
yeah, but and I kind of feel like playing away from home suits his team at the minute. Things were a bit nervy against Dundee until we got that goal. Whereas, and even when we played at home to Aberdeen, I felt we were a bit more nervy than when we went and played them away from home. So I'm quite confident going into Sunday that we will get the job done. They're rubbish anyway. Their manager's under pressure. They might be selling their star player. So yeah, three
I'll be in a
points
cup
and
final,
we
but
press on.
but we need to beat them anyway.
But Saturday's a big day as well because because obviously Hearts are away at Dundee United, and that's not going to be an easy game for them. 8 o'clock kickoff under the lights.
All
Turn
right,
it up.
aye. I might watch
So
that then.
yeah, so
We'll
we shall
wrap up,
see.
mate. I
We
think
shall see. Huh?
that's us for the night. I think we'll wrap
Yeah.
up with that, mate.
Happy days, right? Thank you all for joining in, and we will do some more content ahead of the game against Hibs on Sunday.
And just a wee quick shout out to our Rangers Lotto agency, 4500 if you want to play the Rangers pools, the Rangers Lotto, call it whatever you want. And that's our own wee syndicate that's running. And you just call up and quote the number 4500 the Jers TV. Have a
Happy
good night,
days,
guys.
right. Happy days. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Help us out massively, and enjoy your night. And we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.
Good night.